I'd like to call our meeting to order, and yes, we are on camera. I'd like to welcome the viewing audience to our Darien Committee for Intergovernmental Coordination, and I'd like to ask everyone here on the dais to introduce themselves. Kathy, you want to start?
My name is Kathy Abate. I'm with the Downers Grove Township. I'm one of their trustees on the board.
Very good.
Hi, I'm Claudia Manley. I am on the school board for Hinsdale Township High School District 86, and our new principal from Hinsdale South, Mrs. Stephanie Palmer, just walked in.
That is okay. Well, a new face, we didn't know who it was, so yeah, that's okay. Ray, go ahead.
I'm Ray Jablonski with the Darien Park District. I'm a commissioner and president of the board.
I'm Claire Bongiovanni, President and CEO of the Darien Chamber of Commerce.
Kathleen Weaver, Mayor of the City of Darien.
Rich Brandeis, Cass School District 63.
Yes, and the new person that just walked in, is that Rich?
Mark Reynolds with Tri-State Fire District.
Why don't you come up here, Mark? Yes, to be on the speaker on the up here.
All right.
Yeah. So are any of the other members of your board coming?
Oh, Chief Manzoni asked me to.
Tri-State.
Okay. You're with Tri-State. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
We had a name badge for Dave because Dave was on the list.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, you're going to be Dave for tonight. No,
All right,
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. But at any rate, you can speak into the microphone and announce who you are. No, you just speak
Mark
into it.
Reynolds, Tri-State Fire District.
Okay, so we have everybody. What's that?
Use the back of that.
Oh, is this a duplicate?
It's just an extra, so if he wants to write
Yeah.
his name on the back.
You could write that, write your name on that, Mark. The first thing I'd like to do is to vote on our minutes from the last meeting. We do have an agenda for this evening, and as usual, the first item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes, and those minutes would be from our May 6th, 2014 minutes meeting. Yeah.
Could I ask that they be amended?
Oh,
I was in attendance. Well, as I get older, I'm never sure, but I'm pretty sure I was in attendance at the last meeting, and my name was not on there.
well,
So if we
we
could
should
add it to
consider
the-
these. We should consider these a draft, and yes, we will. What did I do with my pen now? Oh, here it is. Okay. We will amend them and get amended minutes out. So Ray
Thank
was
you.
here. Rich was here. Okay. Did you notice anybody else notice any? Oh, first of all, motion to approve. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay, that was
I'll second.
Claudia Manley, seconded by Claire Bongiovanni. And we are making one amendment to the minutes that Rich Brandeis from District 63 was in attendance. Are there any other? Yeah. And how, do you remember?
Yeah, he was there. I was sitting next to him.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, but then I saw that the Cass 63 golf outing was listed in events. I was like, well, I know I brought that up, so I must have been here.
Okay, so that's amended. You know what, did we ever have anybody take you up on, John Izzo made his presentation at that
No,
meeting?
we have not heard anything back from anyone.
Any of the other taxi
Yeah,
bodies?
but I think we were supposed to send out additional information.
That's right.
And I'll follow up on that. I'm not sure that it was exactly put in
Communicated
the
well?
put in the way that this board kind of wanted it. So
All right, so any other changes to the minutes? Then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next item. We typically review upcoming district events, and if anyone wants to mention any upcoming district events that you have, let's hear about them.
Well, with the Park District, we've got our Wednesday evening farmers markets continuing from 3 to 7 p.m. each Wednesday until October 8th. And we've got entertainment on Wednesday, August 13th, Miss Jamie's Farm at 6 o'clock over at Darien Community Park. And on August 20th, we've got Flashback 45 at 7 p.m. over at Darien Community Park. Saturday, August 16th, from 8 a.m. till 11 a.m., we've got our first fishing derby over at South Grove Park for 3 to 15-year-olds, and all participants must be accompanied by an adult. And we've got our hoedown, annual hoedown, on Sunday, September 21st, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. over at Darien Community Park.
Wow, lots of stuff. I would have to say, I have to ask, is your farmer's market being perceived as being successful?
Yes, it is. I know we've had a few complaints from the residents on 71st Street because there's no place to park, which has been addressed by the chief, and everything's going well. We've got quite a few vendors displaying, and every time I come home from work on Wednesdays and I drive down 71st Street, I got to drive real slow because there's cars parked all over the place.
Yeah, I routinely go, and what's interesting about the farmer's market is people are coming and going all the time.
Right.
They're, you know, unless there's a concert going on and they're going to go to that. Otherwise, they go to pick up products from the vendors and then leave. So there's a high turnover of traffic there. And we talked about the issue of traffic last night. We had one over-exuberant police officer put up no parking signs on the north side of 71st Street
Right.
a week ago.
Right.
And that was not that will not be the case, because that has, that easily has parking for people.
Sure.
We try to, I know you have signs out there trying to get
Right.
people to park on the other side, on the Plainfield Road side.
Right.
And there's Roger Road across the street that's available, so
Sure.
it's just a case of letting people know all the different choices they have, but
One of the highlights is the knife sharpener. I mean, people are
I'm
bringing.
not, you're not kidding.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so whether it's kitchen knives or, garden tools, whatever, he does a great job.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And there's an order of nuns that sell bakery goods.
Yeah.
They're really cool too, so.
They like sugar.
Okay, other events going
Well,
on?
I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce Hinsdale South's new principal, if you wouldn't mind stepping up to the podium over here.
Okay,
And
that's
she,
right.
okay, this is Mrs. Stephanie Palmer, who
Good
assumed.
evening, everyone.
She
Hi.
assumed the reins about June or so,
Yeah.
mid-June. And
End of
so,
May.
yeah, she will be here this coming school year. And we usually do a little rundown, Stephanie, of what's coming up. And I know the school year is starting and homecoming. Maybe you could give us a little rundown of some of the
Homecoming is very
events.
early this year. It's September 19th. So our homecoming week will include I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's a community event actually in lieu of the parade. And it will be on the football field, and it will involve inviting everyone there for, the usual kinds of, dunk tank the principal, for example. I don't know. I have demanded
never
warm
done that,
water.
yes.
That's all I care about. And blow up jumpy things for the kids, and all sorts of events that the high school students will put on for the community, and that will be a fun event. We'll have a bonfire. It'll be very traditional and very fun.
So if you want to get some of your events, you can email the city and they'll put it in there.
Oh, good.
Our Direct Connect, yes. Yes,
Oh,
that's
wonderful.
one way, yeah.
So
Okay.
all of the
Thank
residents
you.
will know.
And through the
Yeah,
chamber,
you can't
too.
over communicate. That's for sure.
Through the
Chamber
chamber.
of
Or
Commerce.
if you have a flyer,
Oh,
we can
good.
promote it through the chamber.
That would be fantastic. We have a new activities director this year who will be in charge of it, but she has been a Hinsdale South teacher, so she understands the concept, and it will be very fun. This year, it's Paris Nights is our theme, so a big Paris-themed event. So we're looking forward to it, and kicking off the school year with a lot of fun things for the students. Back to school freshman, day, and of course, first day of school. Always a good time.
And who's the football opponent for homecoming?
Proviso West,
East.
I want to say
East.
East. Okay, East. Sorry.
Rich knows.
You know.
It's someplace.
Yeah. Oddly, we're playing Hinsdale Central for their homecoming,
Right.
so we're
Oh.
hoping to make that a bad homecoming for them.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
for coming. We appreciate that.
If I could, at the risk of stepping on Stephanie's toes, one event I'd like to add is the Hinsdale South Athletic Club is having their golf outing October 18th at Village Greens Country Club. And it was a great event last year. It raised a lot of money. All the money goes to support the athletic programs at Hinsdale South. So if there's anybody interested in a fun day of golf and dinner, all the information can be found on the athletic club website through the high school website.
It sounds like you have a child or child's over
One
high
that's
school now?
graduated, and I have one that's a senior, and hopefully will be playing a lot of football this
Okay.
year, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a parent of a high school student getting involved. Thank you. Any other,
We have our 27th Annual Darien Fest coming up September 5th, 6th, and 7th at Darien Community Park. And the Chamber is planning a new fundraiser called Dancing with the Chamber Stars. And our very own Mayor Weaver will be one of our celebrity dancers.
I'm going to be dancing at Darien Fest?
No, our new fundraiser. You can do a
Holy cow.
preview at Darien Fest if you'd like.
Twisted my arm to do this. I'm like,
So we're very excited about Mayor Weaver participating as a celebrity dancer at Dancing with the Chamber Stars, November 14th at Ashton Place.
oh, good, okay.
Does that come
I've
with
got
a
some-
costume?
I've
She'll
got some
be in
time
an
to learn how
actual,
to
like,
dance.
Dancing with
An
the
actual
Stars.
dancing
You'll be dancing with
costume.
Max or Derek.
Who are they?
Dancing with the Stars.
I do not watch Dancing with the Stars, I have to admit, so I don't know who you mean.
Okay.
But are they pretty hunky guys here? Or is
She'll
that
be
what
with
you're
the
saying?
she'll be with
Max
the very
is, although
young-
Derek's won like 4 out of the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
She'll
okay.
be with a young professional from Fred Astaire Dance Studio.
Okay, yes. And I certainly have to take dance lessons for this. Okay. The big news for the city and this intergovernmental committee is that we're having our town hall meeting on September 25th at Chuck's, which is located on Cassie Avenue. This year, the format is going to be very different. Last year, it was our kickoff first one, and we learned a lot from how to handle it, what to do. And this year, we are going to have the same number of tables, number of taxing bodies there participating in the room, showing off their wares and being there to discuss things, any things with the residents that do attend. But after that happens, we're going to have a panel discussion and then we would like to have one representative from every taxing body at the main table, the podium, to answer any questions from residents that come into the meeting. So that's the format this year. I was thinking that we should probably invite an MC, someone. I expect to be one of the people at the table answering questions. So I think we should have an MC of some sort. So I was thinking maybe we could give State Representative Jim Durkin a call, or one of the local legislators to come in and be the MC for it. What are your thoughts on that?
If you would do it.
Yeah. I mean, Claire, I'd ask you to do it, but you might be there to answer questions, that people have.
Unless Tom, our chairman, sits at the,
Oh, that's a
I mean-
possibility. Okay. Okay,
it might be easier for me to do it because I understand the whole program,
okay.
you know what I'm saying, versus asking someone to come in, like, who's not really taking ownership to the event. I mean, I don't mind, I'll do it.
Okay.
Tom can, represent the
He'll be
chamber.
representing the chamber. Okay, let's do that. Why don't we make you, if you want to put yourself as the MC, or we'll just introduce you that night.
Okay.
As the MC, whichever
Okay.
way you think. If the invitation is too crowded, I don't know what you think. But we're firming up to make sure all of the logos on here are going to be represented at the event.
Yeah.
We don't want to have a logo of a taxing body that's not going to participate. My next thought was, who's going to be there to represent each one of our taxing bodies? I think personally, it should be the presidents of all of the taxing bodies. We're the ones that are elected by the people. We should be the ones that are answering the questions. I'm sure all of our staffs will be there to jump in if we need any questions answered. But that was my first thought. So what are you all thinking about that?
Since I'm not president, I'm all for that. That sounds good.
I'll be there.
Yeah. Hey, Rich, you're willing. You're the president, so.
I would agree with that. In terms of the township, though, we have a supervisor who is elected, and then we have the assessor who's elected, and then we have the highway commissioner who's also elected. And they run 3 different parts of the township. So Wooster is our supervisor. He's over the whole township, but Terry Cockerell is the assessor, and she runs her own show.
She's gonna get a lot of questions.
She's
Terry
only one
Cockerell?
facet of the township, though. And then there's Frank, who handles the other facet, and then Andy does the other third, which is the highway, unincorporated roadways.
I'd like to stick with one, so it sounds like Frank Worcester will have to be the guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if, I think Terry had better be at the table to answer questions. What your thoughts? You think the
Or should we flip
township
it?
clerk,
Or should we flip it where
Terry answers all the questions?
and Frank is at the table? Or
All right, I'm going to let you make that
Figure
call.
that out?
Yeah, I'm going to let you make that call.
two people?
One person, well,
What?
one person at the podium, but and as many, you can have as many people at your table.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Rich, your representative?
Mike Webster?
Okay.
As we get closer to the November elections, I'm not sure what his schedule is going to be. He's pretty busy,
Yeah,
so
he
I'll approach him about it, but
Okay.
It's-
Who's next in line on your board?
I'm the vice president.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know what?
So I'm
it
going
might
to try
be-
really hard to get Mike there.
It might be a good, well, never mind. We can't talk politics.
Okay, and what do you think, Mark?
I would probably have to assume Chief Manzioni would be there, but I'm sure he would, yeah, I will forward that on, that you would like somebody from one of the elected.
One of the elected officials, yeah. Yeah. Who's the president of your board now?
I want to see it still.
Okay. Yeah, that's my firm belief, that's what brought us together in the first place, or at least that's what we invited it at the beginning, that we felt the people who are on the line to the taxpayers should be the ones that are the spokespeople. So, okay, we don't have to put their names on the invitation, but we should have,
Right, yeah, by maybe the end of this month, because that's just 3 weeks before the event, we should know
who's going to be the
who's gonna be on the
spokesperson.
panel.
So should
Okay.
we just email Claire then? You want us to email you with the
You can,
firm
you
name?
can, Lynn Dubman.
Lynn? Lynn.
Yeah, make Lynn the contact.
And the timeline for the tabling, how long are we going to table before the panel starts?
Good question. That's another question I wanted to ask of everybody. I think we should decide how long we want to open it up for the panel, and then from there, we should decide how much time to leave the tables open. Yeah.
I know that from where the Park District was, next to both fire districts last year, it seemed like all of the activity was at the school district tables.
It could have been location though, because they were near.
So
the
are you saying split 'em up?
entrance, too.
Well, what I'm saying is, I think, again, this year, since the two biggest numbers on everybody's property tax are 6186, 6380, and 99, whatever it is, that the school districts are going to get the most traffic. I'm not saying that the other districts won't have people participating, but I would think that if you were there last year, you could probably give a feel for how busy and how much
It
time.
was busy. It was mostly parents of,
Yes.
But
Our
I
students.
have to say that 63 put on a great table and it was very interactive. And I think seriously that you guys had the most traffic because you did such a great
we
job.
had toys, we had robots, and
Yeah, what the
Yeah.
kids created.
Yeah,
Right.
they had the critters running
Well, I
around.
think that's going to be a good point, is that we have to split up, I think we have the school districts all next to each other, and we can't do that.
Okay, so split them up.
Yeah, we can't have them close to each other because there's too much traffic at those tables.
Okay. Okay, so we'll kind of section the 3 districts in
Yeah.
between everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that would be,
There's 4 of us coming.
right.
Yeah, there's four.
There's 4 of us.
61, 63,
There's 4 of
66.
us.
And 86, okay.
yeah, 99's not participating.
No, that's too bad.
Yeah, it is. They should be there, but,
Okay, so I have another question. The panel now, because I'm working with Chuck's to get the panel set up, there's going to be 11 participants on the panel, correct? Because with Kathy coming in now, that's 11.
11, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. They are going to give us a riser.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
All right.
and then we'll have the table set up. We're working on getting a cordless mic. I think we might need 2 with 11 people, otherwise that thing is going to be going back and forth, so we're working on getting pricing for that. And I'm working with Scott, too, to
Do
see
we have
if,
cordless mics? The school? Yeah, I know we do. I'm willing to, we'll check into it for you.
do you have a mixer, too?
We'll check into it. We probably do.
You know, the other way, if we can't come up with more microphones, cordless microphones, you could set up a podium in the middle of the, you know, 2 tables with all of 11 of us up there, and when the question's asked, then that person, that taxing body representative would go to the podium and answer the question. That's just a,
That's what James and I talked about as well.
See,
if we
the other
couldn't-
thing we have is something like this system, which is portable, because we go between the 2 high schools for meetings. Something like this might work, too. It's corded, though, but there's a lot of microphones.
well, and,
I'll check. We'll check.
okay,
We'll check.
because if let's see.
Chuck's doesn't have anything?
Chuck has some equipment, but how much is
Okay.
it as much as we need?
Right, it's basically just a podium with the microphone.
Okay.
Okay, so we need microphones. Okay, have you talked to Scott yet?
Scott's working,
Okay,
yeah,
so
so I'm
he'll-
working with Scott, because he said, see how much it is with James, so we're working on it.
Okay, all righty. Okay, other, oh,
The timeline again, we never figured out. the
That's right,
timeline.
we haven't
What's
figured out the
total
time.
that
we,
we've
we,
allotted
it's
for it?
scheduled from 7 to 9.
Okay.
Hour an hour? Our tables, our.
What was
panel?
done last year? Do you remember?
Oh, well, last year, I took it most of the time. I think it was,
40, I think we had 45 at the tables last year.
Well, one thing I remember specifically from last year, because my board of directors were checking people in, was the residents were getting there like 6:30, they were coming early, you know, especially the older folks were coming early, so, that's a long time. You know, people are coming, if they start coming 6:30 to 7:30 or 7:45 maybe, and start the panel at 7:45.
all right, is that, sound good to everybody?
What
I mean, I know it starts at 7, but I'm telling you, they were coming early. They were showing up early.
I don't remember whether that was the case. The one thing I remember is a lot of residents just came, sat down, and
Yes.
didn't go around the
Right.
table.
Yes.
And we've talked about
Right.
this before. So maybe shortening the time will minimize that, but, you know, to have people just sit there for an hour would be silly.
You know, maybe we should have ambassadors too, like explaining, you know, like maybe I can have a couple of my board of directors who helped check in last year, just explaining to them, please, you know, the panel's gonna start at this time. Please take a moment to go visit all the taxing bodies, so they know not to just go sit there.
Are you
you
gonna have
know.
the diagram of the table?
Well,
the
that
layout?
was my next point.
Yeah.
We have to have handouts at the door with, number one, a layout of the room, so they know where each taxing body is. And then, how about a sheet of prompts of questions to ask?
Now, last year, and I took it off of here, last year on the flyer, it said to submit your questions when you
Oh,
were.
yes,
And I
yes.
took that off because I wasn't sure. They said when you register to submit your questions. And remember, they were coming in, and then I printed them out and gave them to Lynn. Did
Okay.
you want me to add that back in?
Oh, I think so. I think we should, if we can get any of them ahead of time, that would be
Right.
helpful.
Especially if people are looking for numbers.
Exactly, because we don't want anybody to be blindsided by, you know, something, but, yeah, to be prepared, I guess is the better word for it.
Okay, so I'll add that back in here.
Okay. All right, what do you think about, you know, a sheet that, along with the layout of the room, something to go, some ideas of the people that come in the room? I don't know.
Just off the top of my head, what about even a sheet where people could write questions during that time before we start the program, and then at least we'd have some, you know, they could hand them in and we'd have some written warning that way.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
that's where, with the registration last year, when they registered online, they were asking their questions while they read, you know, while it was in their mind.
Right, I'm saying in addition to
addition?
that, people that instead of just having them stand up and throw the question blind, they could fill out a sheet with their question, and then you could call on and say, okay, we have a question.
So
so-and-so,"
as we're checking them in.
And have them stand up and then repeat their question.
What about a pie graph, and I hate to single us out, Rich, but where your taxes go in terms of percentages to the grade schools, percentages to the high schools, percentages to the fire district, you know, so that people will look at the pie chart and say,
What, Did you do that, something similar at your table last year?
No.
No, you didn't
It
do
was
anything
all
like that.
technology focused last year, I
Okay.
think.
All righty.
The thought.
Should we leave that to the individual tables? I don't know. I don't know if, how to handle that one. And Bob Klein, who's the usual critic, yes, he's not here tonight to voice his opinion.
He would probably say we should do that. But I
Yeah.
don't think it should be left up to the tables because I, being representative of the township, is not going to put a pie chart together of all the other taxing bodies. I'm only concerned about the one I'm working for. So I probably wouldn't necessarily put a pie chart together with what the school districts.
Your thoughts?
I think that we'd have to agree on a generic pie chart because someone who's in 63 and 86 is different than 61 and
That's true.
86, or 66, 99.
So it may not work.
It may
Right.
not work.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You got overlapping.
Yeah, that's,
Then you're gonna have some people from unincorporated
Right.
there too, and, you know,
that's why I thought that issue, maybe we should just leave to the tables on how they want to handle it. I would imagine that if somebody has a question, that, we'll have to answer it. We'll have to answer that. And I would expect all of the, the presidents or the representatives, all the taxing bodies would know that information.
last year I volunteered to have my property tax bill blown up at the table. Just,
I could do the same, yeah, we could.
was that a hiccup or a comment? Oh, okay.
We all heard it, but I didn't want to embarrass you, yes.
I thought that was a gasp when
That's what I thought too. You did what?
No, Ray, we don't know what your taxes are.
All right, thank you.
Oh, God, that's funny. Okay, any more thoughts? I mean, does everybody want to just leave that to each one of the
What did we
taxing bodies?
decide setup was again? When is setup? 6:30, 6 o'clock?
No,
No, probably, I think 5 o'clock. It took a while for everybody to bring all their stuff in.
Set
I
up
mean,
at
we
fi-
need to
oh.
be ready by 6:30. So starting at 5 o'clock, as long as everybody's set by 6:30, because we don't want to be schlepping stuff in while people are coming in.
What
So
time do you
everybody should be set by 6:30.
Okay. Okay, so Claire is going to do some editing of this invitation, and then we'll have to rely on all of you to get the information out. Either on definitely on your websites. Did the schools hand it out to the
We have
to the students?
electronically, we have what's called note totes that
That's
go
right.
out every
Right,
Wednesday.
we can do that as well.
And I think, I know 61 has that ability too.
Right.
Okay.
They all do.
Yeah.
They all do, because I know for Darien Dash, everybody sends it out electronically. Let's get back to the timeline.
Okay,
Maybe we should put the timeline on here somehow, so people kind of have like a little agenda to go by.
Agreed.
So the event starts at 7, so 7 PM to whatever, visiting the taxing bodies.
7:45.
7 to 7:45, meet
Meet
your
and greet.
representatives.
Yeah, meet and greet.
Yep, yeah,
Okay.
meet and greet, meet your representatives, whatever.
Okay, and then 7:45 to
Panel
9,
discussion,
panel
yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just getting real crowded.
What? Well, I can make everything smaller. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I'll make it work.
So will each taxing body representative give a 2-minute description of who they are, what they do, what the taxing body is all about, and then we bounce around and the questions are asked? How will that?
Never even thought about that. I mean,
Introductions.
Introductions, yeah, I mean, never even thought about that.
Because people don't know who people are.
Right. And hopefully we'll have something like this in front of everybody too, so that way, we can make, as soon as we have the list, we could make these up. And I think we should have like a little limit, because sometimes I know when we do panel discussions at the chamber, they'll go on and on and on, and,
Who's they?
Yeah.
like the person, the panel, like
Oh,
someone ask a question.
speakers go on and on and
Yeah,
on.
they'll
Right,
just go
right.
on.
Gee,
for
I've
10
never
minutes.
heard of that before.
So maybe me,
that's true.
being the MC, just like, okay, moving right
minutes.
along.
Well, on our city council agenda, we have, added questions and comments from the audience at the beginning of our meetings now to allow people to speak, and we put in there 2 minute,
2 minutes.
2 minute
Okay.
limit, yeah.
Okay. Because
So-
otherwise, someone else might miss out on saying something.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so that's not a bad idea, Kathy, that each representative,
Introductions.
so that might jog some more questions when they know
Right.
who's there.
Who's who.
Okay, who's who. Okay. Other things that we need to iron out before. The handouts, okay. I'll have my staff do the table layout.
We could almost maybe just do a little program, just a one-page program, with the agenda and everything, and then the layout, just do like a little one-page thing like this. I mean, I
Okay.
could even do that in Publisher.
Okay.
I know Lynn doesn't know how to do Publisher, so I could do it.
All right.
And that way, it's all in one. I'm
I
wondering
think it's a great- I think it's a great
I'm
idea.
wondering too, on the back, we should have, submit your question, and then they could just, instead of having another piece of paper, we'll just leave the back with the question that they want to
There you
submit.
go.
Okay.
Conserve
Right?
paper.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, one handout, that sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
So it'll have the agenda, we'll have all the logos, who's participating, we'll have the layout, and then the question on the back. And if
Okay.
they have a question, they could just submit to whoever.
Okay, I think it's a great idea,
Okay.
not. Okay, anything else that anybody has any thoughts on?
Do you want, last time, I don't know how many people took advantage, do we want to allow any time at the end for people who didn't get questions answered to go to the table, back to the individual tables and talk to somebody?
No, I think that's a great
If we're
idea.
talking about the panel from 7:45 to 9, then
We-
that's,
We don't want to cut anybody off, let's put it that way, right?
Right.
That's what we want to say.
But do we want to end at 9 and then just say you can go back and visit the tables, or do we want to keep going? Because, just so I know what to do.
I would stop with the question. My question was, should we have the panel discussion end at like 8:30 or 8:45, let's say 8:45, to allow time, or just prepare everybody at the tables, hey, you're going to be there after 9 to answer questions, additional questions. I just don't want anybody to think, because if the panel ends at 9, think that if they still have unanswered questions, they don't have a chance to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
I don't want to just say,
Yeah,
Well,
you
we
know.
can extend the time at Chuck's. I mean, we can extend the event. If we end the panel at 9, we can extend the event for another half hour,
I
Just
don't
in
think
case
it's, I don't
someone
think,
wanna
I
go
think
back.
Rich's idea is a good one, let's make the timeline for the panel discussion just an hour, 8 till 8:45, and then invite anyone who still has questions to address them at the table.
right.
go back to the table.
I don't
Go
think
back
we
to the
want to go
table.
much past 9 o'clock.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you never know. You just don't know how it's going to go. I don't remember. There was a good amount of questions from the audience, if I remember
Oh,
correctly.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was even one little guy from your school district.
Giovanni, the cutest little guy.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, I invited him back to a city council meeting to lead the Pledge of Allegiance, but he was pretty astute.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And okay, all right. So everybody's got to be set up by 6:30. We're going to have that flyer to get out to all the taxing bodies. Then we're going to make a little pamphlet for everyone. We need to check on how many microphones we can get. You don't know what Jim has now, does he?
No, because he has to outsource. They have to outsource.
Do they really?
Well,
Oh,
they only
boy.
have the one right now, but.
We'll
are you
check on
gonna-
what.
yeah,
That's, you know,
yeah,
before-
I-
before
you
he
know, I'm
outsourced.
almost sure we have, because I've been to plays and whatnot, and, that there's even more than one, so.
Yeah.
If you can let me know as soon as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want him to, go to expense just,
exactly,
if
just
we
to
can all,
host
if we
us,
all
right.
have equipment here
Right.
within our group. So, okay. Anything else? After our next meeting, I can't even think of a date at this point. I think
October, wouldn't you?
our
Yeah.
focus is on making this town hall the best we can make it and
We should
get more
probably have one
participants.
like that second week in, right after Darien Fest. We should probably have one just to regroup so we all know what we're doing.
And we had a lot of, I remember a lot of the aldermen were here because they voiced their opinions on what they thought would work better. And I think that's where we came up, the panel idea. And, okay, so we're talking October now.
No,
and-
September. We
September
should have
before-
one, we should have another meeting before the event.
Before the event.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right? Just to kind of
Yeah, I
regroup?
think we should.
Yeah.
Well, the only one we can come up with would be, we have to go with the first Tuesday of every month, right?
Which is
That would
what-
be September 2nd,
That's the day after Labor Day.
yeah.
That's fine with me, I'm good.
No?
I can do it, but I don't know if it's good for everyone else.
I'm in Michigan, but
I
I
don't-
can ask Frank to.
Don't
Sit
think
in
we
for
have
me.
a board meeting. We may have a board meeting, but I don't think no, that's on a Tuesday. Or
Would you
Mondays.
have a board meeting on?
No, ours is always the third Tuesday of the month.
Okay, the third Tuesday,
Well, ours changes with holiday months, so.
yeah. Yeah, we might not even have a city council meeting that night. That's another issue for me, because that would be a city council night for me. Okay, well.
If not, we'll just communicate by email. The main thing is get the flyer out and get the little pamphlet done, you know, and we'll just communicate by email.
All right, does anybody, do any of you have your, a meeting on the second Tuesday, September 9th? Because of the holiday, maybe everybody's gonna bump their meetings?
I think that's probably
When you're gonna have your meeting?
Yeah. Well, we're on the 8th probably.
You do Mondays?
Yeah.
We're Thursdays. So I'm good.
Okay, what does everybody think about the 9th, September 9th? Is that too late, or too
Yeah.
early to sit and talk about it?
No, because we need to be done by then with everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything should be pretty much done. We'll just finalize and kind of go through.
How about a
the-
different day of the week?
I'm recovering from Darien Fest, so.
That is a tough one.
Hey, what am I saying? We're not gonna be meeting that night. Our meeting would be September 8th, 15th. How about the week before, like, we have the dog district ribbon cutting on the 16th? Well, I keep looking at Tuesdays, but I don't know if Tuesdays is a good day for anybody, to be honest with you. Or maybe a different day of the week would be
I
better.
think we met once on a Thursday, if I recall. Because that doesn't seem to conflict with meetings. Your Thursdays?
Thursdays, but the first Thursday, which would be September, right before,
September 4th.
That's right before Darien
yeah,
Fest.
so that would be
Yeah,
our
no,
meeting.
that's not
And
good
that
for
would
you.
be good
Do you
for
think the week before would be a good day to meet, or 2
Yeah,
weeks?
Yeah, and I think the week before, we'll know exactly,
The second?
you know, yeah.
The week before would be September 18th. That's a Thursday.
Well, is this on the 25th or the 15th?
The 25th.
Okay.
So the 18th?
All right.
I'm looking at the
Pick the
18th. What do you
wrong
think,
date.
guys?
That
Should be
works for
okay.
me.
Well, at least for the people here.
Yeah, I've got something that I can't remember what
I-
it is.
Isn't it terrible when you can't remember? And I haven't pulled out I got 2 calendars. I have a paper calendar
Okay.
and my phone.
You know, I'm having a flashback. Last year, we met, part of us met at 5 o'clock, no, at Carriage Greens, and then the other group
Oh,
came
yeah.
at 7 o'clock,
I remember that.
remember?
Somebody left a note for us.
So we
Right.
did meet at the venue.
That's what I told you,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just remember that now, but for some reason, we came in 2 different ships.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do.
So, do you want me to check to see if the room is available
The
on
week
that
before,
evening?
the week before.
And then we
Oh, so we
set
can meet at
one
the
time,
venue?
7 o'clock,
Oh, that's fine.
if it's available,
Okay, or should we do it earlier?
5 o'clock,
6
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock? We're talking September 18th, right? Okay,
Okay, so 6 o'clock,
yeah, pre-meeting.
6 o'clock? And I will make sure that the room is available, and then we'll just have the meeting there,
Okay,
okay?
so
And
everybody
by
gets a
that time,
feel
we'll
for the
see the
room.
setup, and if we
Yeah.
have to tweak anything before we print, you know, the little brochures, we'll just tweak it then.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty, okay, how's everybody with that?
Good.
All right. Any other thoughts on anything? I think the little handout is a really good idea. I think that'll work very well.
Are we going to be fair about the questions going to the taxing bodies? Or are we just going to say whatever questions come up? I mean, what if all the questions go to District 63 or District 86 and nobody else gets a question? Or-
So be it.
So
you know?
be it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just-
I think, I
Just
think too,
saying.
before we open it up, I think we need to take the questions that are written first. You know what I'm saying? Before we open it up to the audience, because
Okay.
those people, you know, they're expecting those questions to be
made
answered.
the effort,
And they
yeah.
took the time to write the question down.
Yeah, they made the effort
Yeah.
Sure.
to register online.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, absolutely,
Okay.
yeah,
So it's possible you could be up there and not have to interact with the audience.
yeah.
Okay.
So your idea about introducing each of us.
Because the
each-
township is a difficult one to wrap your
Yeah, a
head
lot of people
around.
don't understand what the township really
Right.
does. So it's good to have a table, and then it's good to have an introduction.
Right.
And I'll put all the logos on the little plate, you know, on the plates here, so people
Terry
who are
know.
visual.
Wow,
I'll see if
Wow.
Terry's open.
wow. She goes all out, I'll tell you. Okay.
Do we get any
I'm glad-
barbecue?
I'm glad I invited you along.
Do you have a target date for when the flyers be ready for, so I can let our school know about when they're?
Yeah, I'll do
Include
it, I'll send it to the Mayor Weaver and her staff, just to bless it, and
To
once
proof
it's
it.
confirmed, then Lynn will send it out to everybody, okay? But I'll work on this tomorrow.
Do we get any barbecue?
Like
Well, you know, I'm sure Chuck is going to do some sort of promoting of his business while we're all there. Have you all eaten at his place?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
They are gonna have cash bar this year,
Oh, at the,
at the event, yeah.
okay.
I don't know about food, but there's gonna be,
Asking questions who've been drinking, I don't know.
That's what, that was my exact thought just now. We'll have to watch who has more than one cocktail, so we can watch
Send the police.
how many questions they ask.
will be there.
Okay. Any other thoughts about this format? You know, having run through it last year, it makes it a little bit easier. We know what to expect. And this is a whole different format, but I think we'll be great at it, so. Okay? All righty. So we do have a date of September 18th at 6 PM at Chuck's.
let me confirm that. I will confirm that the room is available,
Okay.
and then Lynn will let everybody know.
Okay. You don't need mine? No.
No.
Okay. So if there's nothing further, then I'll just ask for a motion to adjourn. This is one of our shorter meetings. Claire,
I'll second.
seconded by Kathy Abadi. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much for all of
Thank you.
your input. I'm looking forward to a very successful. Other towns do this on a route every year, and so we can only build on it.